Hello, everyone. Again, to another episode. Today, we're going to talk about health. We have again Alan Lazaros for part two. Alan, thank you again for joining us. How are you today?
I'm good. Part two. This is an honor. I did fitness coaching, fitness modeling, fitness competitions. I know you did some fitness back in your day, bodybuilding.
Yeah,
And it is one of my deepest passions. Now, you say health, and we can talk about health, of course, but for me, it's fitness. It's fitness all the way.
sure,
So,
sure, absolutely. And also the subject that most people actually forget about, which is how to combine together with your professional agenda. Most people tend to forget that. Well, me too. It's not like I'm out of the scope. Really, sometimes I tend to forget that too. Yeah, I mean, our agenda sometimes get complicated, and we tend to forget how to divide and balance, your health part together with your professional agenda, which is very common these days. And today we're going to talk about, me and Alan, how you can actually coordinate that. And yeah, Alan.
okay, so fitness, the little bit of backstory. I got in a car accident at 26. I think we talked about that in the last episode.
Yeah, yeah,
My birth father passed away in a car when he was 28 in 1991 when I was 2, so that sort of changed my whole life. And I was 160-pound, skinny fat, not taking care of myself, drinking too much and too often. And at 26, I faced mortality, and it was sort of the second chance my dad never got, and it was my existential quarter-life crisis where I just decided, okay, I need to get it together. I need to make some changes. And from that moment until now, that was 10 years ago, I'm 36 now, and from that moment until now, I've really dialed fitness up to 11, and bodybuilding competition, the whole nine. But I have a framework that I'll share with everybody, and I think this is something we can go through. I think it's of value.
yeah, yeah,
I call it the pyramid of fitness. Simple. And the thing I love about a pyramid, I might have said this in the last episode, is in order for it to grow taller, it has to grow wider. And so the bottom of the pyramid is sleep. Then the next layer up is hydration. So having water. Cheers to hydration. So sleep, hydration, nutrition, calories, micros, macros, that kind of thing.
yeah,
Sleep, hydration, nutrition, training, mobility, breath work, and supplementation. To me, those are the 7 pillars that if you master them, because so this is something I wouldn't have had the courage to share in the past, but I haven't taken a full day off in 10 years.
yeah,
I work every day. I build the self, build the family, build the business every day. And people will come to me and they'll say, like, that's so bad for you. And I would say, first of all, it's not bad for me. Maybe it's bad for you. It's not bad for me. I want to work every day. And some days it's an hour a day. Some days it's an 18-hour day.
yeah,
And usually it's around 10 to 12. But people ask me, like, how in the hell do you work that much? My business partner, playfully, he says, Alan, I've tried to keep up with you and I've almost died trying. And the truth is, I am ridiculously meticulous ever since 26 years old. Before that, I was not. But after 26, I decided to reverse engineer the best body and brain possible. Physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. And I did it through those pillars. And so I focus on those pillars every single day. And that's what allows me to do what I do now.
yeah. Resilience. The resilience, it's what actually builds a better version of yourself, which most people actually tend to forget. I mean, if you're not resilient, saying, this was my version back, can it be improved? It's good if everyone asks this question to themselves. I said, yes. Everyone has the possibility to have a better version of themselves. It's all in the will. Do you want to do it or you do not want to do it? But don't say to yourself it's not possible. Nothing is impossible in this world. There's always the ability for you to reach a goal. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, and it's not going to be easy at all, but you can do it. It's a matter of, for example, I mean, I'm not, this example, I'm not actually trying to put it for people to do it because it's insane, but I actually went from 98 kilos with around 18% fat to 127 kilos with 6% fat in 18 months. It's possible.
Whoa.
It's
Whoa.
possible. But it's possible, and is it healthy to do it? Maybe not. Because I tell you how I got there. I got there doing 1 hour and a half of cardio every morning around 4 a.m., having 9 meals a day. That's why you need to have, the day has to be very, very big because you need to eat every 3 hours and have to be 9 meals exactly every day. And the amount of workout, which is in the end of the day, when you already have at least 6 meals digested in your day, um, it's insane. We're talking about maybe five, 5 to 6 exercises for two body muscles, for two groups of muscle, at least of 4 exercise each of series.
Did you
And
compete?
I did competition, yes, yes.
Nice. Yeah.
And it's insane because it all started. I mean, I have a background in the past. I used to do it when I was in my 20s. Then, because of many things with work and traveling, I had to quit because you need to maintain that, that regime of diet and go to the gym, etc. So
It's
if
a
you travel,
full-time job, man. It's a
exactly,
full-time job. Athletes, they have to optimize everything.
yeah.
I did too when I was competing.
And that part became challenging, and I had to stop. So I came back once. This was 7 years ago, and I went to the gym and said, I'm gonna go in 2 years to physics class in Mr. Olympia, and everyone started to laugh. So when I actually came to 16 months and people were seeing my arms really tight and with 51 centimeters totally dry, they were saying, this is not possible. I said, well, you can touch my arm and see for yourself, man. And that's how I can say nothing is impossible, really. I even didn't know if I would made it or not, but I had to try. So you need to put goals sometimes that you think are impossible for you to achieve them, and we will do it. And we'll do it. This is one of the things I can remember to share that it's possible to do. It's a matter of you have the will, you have the guts, and bodybuilding is actually a good sport because you need to meet with a lot of goals with the
Yeah.
diet, sleep, the regime. So it's a full-time routine that in many other sports maybe is not so strict as it is on bodybuilding. And I take that as an example of professional life because the levels it's the same thing. You need to have a
Yeah, of
fixed
course.
structure. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I think in professional life, I watched a documentary 2 nights ago called The Weight of Gold by Michael Phelps. Have you seen it?
right. No, no, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
Okay. Yeah, it's on HBO, and it talks about. So Michael Phelps has 28 Olympic medals, 23 gold.
Okay.
And when I try to explain to people why I live so differently, I say I'm not an Olympian, but I treat my body and my company and my productivity and my day as if I am. So I'm not going for silver, I'm not going for bronze, I'm going for my own unique version of gold. I'm
Yeah.
climbing my mountain, and it's a mountain that gets higher as you climb it. I want to reach my full potential. And in the documentary, they're talking about the downside of that, which is mental health challenges. And when you optimize your entire world around one thing in order to be the best in the world at it, it can be very isolating, it can be very challenging, it can be, so it's not a question of whether or not certain things are possible. Like, there's so many things. I would say the car was invented when there was only horses. The airplane was invented when there was only cars.
Yeah.
The rocket ship was invented when there was only airplanes, right? So you can imagine things in your mind that don't exist yet. That's how iPhones are created. That's how all this is created.
Yeah.
So impossible is silly. That's not what we're talking about. What I am talking about, though, is whether or not it's going to be worth it. And whether it's your professional career, whether it's personal goals, business goals, fitness goals, you name it, it's going to require sacrifice, and it's going to require other things to fall secondary. So I always playfully joke, I say 1 is too few, 5 is too many. So I have 3 priorities at every given time. For me, it's fitness, personal development, and business. Those are the 3 that I'm optimizing for. And I don't put as much into my physical fitness as I did back when I was competing, because back when I was competing, my entire business was also fitness. So fitness model, fitness competitor, fitness coach. Yeah. I had a podcast with Kevin. He was competing as well. We were both bodybuilders. I was men's physique. He was bodybuilding. Natural athlete. And essentially what I think the lesson is for everyone out there watching or listening is, what mountain are you climbing?
Yeah.
What is the level of health and fitness you're going to need in order to achieve that mountain? And now I optimize for being the CEO of Next Level University, 18-person team, 23 clients, over 2,000 episodes, heard in 180 countries. That's actually one of the reasons I'm here right now instead of at the gym. And I exercise every day still, every single day. Yeah. I started that in March 1st of 2022, my beautiful girlfriend and I. And we started exercising together. I said, I want to beat my old best. And she said, what do you mean? I said, the longest I've ever exercised, the longest streak I've ever had for daily exercise was 3.5 months. And she's like, I'll do it with you. Let's go for 4. We crossed the 120-day mark, and she's like, let's keep going. And we crossed the year mark, and I drive in with her. We're in the car together after a workout, and I said, we did it. And she said, what do you mean? I said, we did a year of consistent exercise every single day. And she's like, well, let's do this for the rest of our life. And I had a mini panic attack. And I said, sweetheart, are you serious? Because if I'm not going to make a promise to you or to myself that I'm going to break. Like, are you serious? Now, for everyone out there watching or listening that thinks that's nuts, it started out with just 30 minutes a day. Set a timer. Walking counts, jogging counts, swimming counts, weight training counts, but it has to be 30 minutes of intentional movement. Walking around the grocery store does not count.
Of course, yeah.
So we did that, and we did that March 1st of 2022, and it's been 1,261 days since then. Awesome. And we have not missed a single day of exercise. So the reason I'm saying this, though, is you have no idea how good you feel.
Yeah.
So last week, I'm looking at my calendar right now on my other computer, and I texted Emilia this, and I texted Kevin, my business partner, this. And I'll literally read it verbatim. And I said, let me pull it up. I said, I knew it. This is the most productive week I've ever had last week. New PR, new personal best. 54 coaching sessions, trainings, and podcasts in one 7-day period. Time to make this look like child's play. So I had the most productive week of my life last week. I did 54 coaching sessions, trainings, and podcasts.
Yeah.
And I think, were you and I on last week? That might have counted as one. I'm not sure. We were on last week. Okay. So last week I'm looking at my calendar, and it's like, how did I not die? Seriously, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm able to do that is because I take such good care of the asset. And when you wake up in the morning and feel incredible, I used to be out of shape. Being in shape is the best thing in the entire world. It's the best. Athletes feel amazing a lot of the time. Now, I know there's injuries. I know some of them overtrain. I know there's illnesses. I understand. Statistically speaking, the athletes, I think, are the happiest. And I think the reason why is because they're in such good fucking shape. And I know someone who drives a Ferrari, and I was with him not long ago. And I said, I don't want to drive a Ferrari. I want to live in one.
Yeah.
I want my body and my brain to be a Ferrari. And I think that that's one of the reasons why I can do what I do and why I can do 54 in a week. And I'm not here to brag, but I am here to hopefully inspire and
No, no,
motivate people, because I didn't
in the
take
end,
care of my health in the past.
the stamina takes you to that level because you don't feel tiredness of keep on doing what you're doing. Well, firstly, because you enjoy what you're doing. And this is something that for most people or some people might understand or not understand, which is in the end to help other people to achieve their goals. And this
And
is,
caffeine.
yeah,
Yeah, and caffeine. I'm just kidding. But no, if it's meaningful work, it will pull you more and you'll have more
yeah,
stamina for sure. Yeah.
yeah. And caffeine, by the way, is actually part of life. I mean, you actually need to consume is that and sodium, but natural sodium, not the usual marine salt
Yeah.
you have on the supermarket. I always recommend it being salt, which is one of the most natural ones, to consume
Nice.
uh, within the diet. But yes, I mean, for the ones who don't have actually specific diet, I always recommend for you to be, with the proper nutritionist to have the proper diet according to your
Of
DNA,
course.
your structure, your physical structure, because of better optimization. Because you might be consuming, uh, food, some products that will not be pro-efficient for you, and some products are more pro-efficient for you because your body retains more quantity of productive things from those foods that you're consuming. So in the end, it's just a matter to what is better for you. Because, for example, for me, sweet potato does extremely high results, but for other people might not be. So in the
Yep.
end, it's just to find out what is best for you. So what I usually recommend is you do a 3 weeks different tables of food every week with different elements per week,
Of
and you
course.
find every 7 days what is your final result.
Yep.
What is your fat? What is your body mass? What is your muscle? What is your sugar? And then next week the same. So after 3 weeks, then you get okay. So in this week I eat salmon, I eat meat, I eat cow. So these are best for me because this is the week I had best results for myself.
Yep.
This is what I recommend usually for everyone to do. And
Well,
same
those
with
split
training.
tests can be done forever.
Yeah, yeah,
I just talked to Emilia earlier. We do coconut water,
yeah,
and I'm not sponsored or anything like that, but
yeah, yeah,
I said we got to go back to that because I can feel the difference. It's sensory acuity.
yeah,
When you eat certain things, you get certain results, cause and effect. And so we used to do coconut water, and we used to have that instead of water.
yeah,
And we noticed a huge increase in our productivity and how vibrant we felt and our energy levels. And we actually researched some of the science behind coconut water. And it's like, okay, it's expensive. Well, it's an investment.
It
And it
is.
is expensive. It is expensive. But it's an investment. And so if it's going to make us more productive and we can
Yeah.
serve at a higher level, then we'll make that money back. And so, same with food. We're always experimenting with certain foods, time, cost, how well they affect our energy
Yeah,
levels.
and
And
when people actually ask, I said, "Well, that's expensive." Yeah, but how much your body worth? How much you worth? So
exactly,
you are investing in yourself. If that makes you a better version of yourself, how much does that worth if
100%.
you consume it?
Yep.
Because if you know you're gonna have better results, if you know you'll be more optimized, you have more energy, you feel better. Why wouldn't you consume it? So in the end, like I always say, it's not all about the money. Sometimes you need to really focus on what is best for you and what gives you those results, because in the end, you'll get the return of the investment directly or indirectly from that. Because if you have the stamina to take 16 hours a day, imagine the amount of work you can do, while maybe you would be doing that for 8 or 9 hours. If you
Yep.
count the amount of hours you're losing per day in 1 month, how much is that in money? So,
Nice.
yeah,
Me at I worked in corporate before my car accident at 26. So we'll call it 10, 11 years ago.
yeah,
I would run circles around me then. So if I could compare 25-year-old Alan to 36-year-old Alan now, this version of me would run circles around this guy. It wouldn't even
yeah,
be close. Productivity, communication, skills, mindset, understanding, awareness. It's not even close. And everything you do and don't do, there's a constructive path and there's a destructive path. So I used to drink too much and too often, alcohol, boom, 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 destructive,
Yeah.
destroy your cells, destroy your brain, all this stuff. And I'm glad I stopped all that, because one thing that we haven't even mentioned here, I quit drinking 6 years ago. And I'm telling you, even a month and a half in, I could feel a difference. 2 months in, I could feel a difference. 3 months in, I could feel a difference. It's my body was detoxing because I had so many years of drinking alcohol. And at the end of the day, if you want to drink alcohol, do drugs, and smoke cigarettes, you do you. But you're not going to get the same results that I'm going to get in terms of how I feel and my ability to produce. There's different states. There's ventral vagal. There's peak states that you can optimize your life around, optimize your environment around, get great sleep, hydrate consistently, eat the right foods. At the end of the day, you don't put crappy gasoline in a Ferrari.
Exactly.
And if you don't believe you're worth it, that's another conversation. And
Yeah.
why would you renovate a home that you didn't believe was worth it? Right? You're not going to redo the kitchen of a home that you don't believe will be of value. And so that's a self-worth, self-respect, self-love, self-trust, self-discipline conversation. But ultimately, fitness is my favorite thing in the entire world. I will never, ever, ever take my body for granted. I have no injuries. I'm very grateful. My right shoulder's a little tweaked. My right knee's not great. But like overall, the other night we did weigh-in. We did a 10-pound and 10-week challenge for Next Level University. And we have a Next Level Fitness Accountability group. And we have like 50 people in there. And my girlfriend and I, we needed to make weight last week because weigh-ins were last Thursday, 10 pounds in 10 weeks. August 7th was the weigh-ins. And her and I dehydrated a bit. We put on our sweatsuit and we ran 5 miles on a whim, and I made weight. I was 193.6. I was 204 at the start. My goal was 194, and I weighed in and I sent it to the group and I said, hey, I wanted to lead by example, but I had to cut some water in order to do it. And I could run 5 miles with her on a whim. And we're not even runners.
Yeah.
We don't run. We're weight trainers. We weight train. And so I could run a 5K right now, probably in 22, 23 minutes, maybe even better. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that because that is the past investments that I've made in my body that now I can perform. So when you see someone who can do amazing things like 54 in 1 week or whatever, you're actually seeing the accumulation of their past choices. And my business partner, Kev, he's in great shape. And the other day on the podcast, I stopped him. I said, hey, brother, can you take us through everything you do for fitness? And the list was insane. There was like 40 things on the list that he does every week without even thinking. And of course he's in shape. So I stopped everybody and I said, okay, listeners, listen to what he just said. Kevin does 40 things every week without even thinking about it in order to be in shape. He didn't just show up in shape. No one's just in shape by default. No one's just wealthy by default. I mean, some people have generational wealth and some people are young and they have genetics. But other than that, most success is a byproduct of great choices compounded over time.
Alan, even with good genetics, you still need to put in the work. It doesn't come everything by itself. So people say, oh, I know some people, it might be a little bit easier, but you need a lot of work to do. They still need 100%. To have a good diet, need to have a good training, good to have a good routine, because in the end it's all the same. I mean, the body does not sustain by itself. It's not like magic, Shazam. I'm whatever. It doesn't work that way. It takes a lot of workout. And what I usually say is, can you reach? What is your final reach? I mean, I can tell you from my example. When I started back then was when I doing that routine of the 18 months. It came apart. I think it was when I break the barrier of 13 months. I started to do bench press with almost 200 kilos. Is that possible? I said, yes, I've done it. Even the bar sometimes, put the V, the like burn because of the weight. So I actually was doing 4 or 5 reps by myself, an extra 2 with some help, not much, but maybe 4 to 6. That last, workout. And I was doing practically 10, 12 reps with dumbbells of 40 kilos in each hand by
Nice.
myself. So it's possible. How is that possible? You need to have energy in your body. You need to have a constant routine. You need to sleep well. You need to
What's the
have.
conversion of kilo to pounds? Is it
So 40 kilos, I think it's around 80 pounds, 80 to 90 pounds,
nice?
more or less, I think. Or maybe less. No, I'm not sure, man. Because
I'm looking
I
at.
work everything in kilos, so in pounds, I'm not sure.
Yeah. 2.2. So yeah, so you 40 would be times 2.2. You're looking at 88. So like
Yeah,
90s. You're doing 90
yeah.
pounds. Yeah.
90 pounds per arm. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. So
And
2.2. I gotta remember that. 2.2.
and and I remember when I was doing legs, I in some trainings I did incline bench press with over 340 kilos. That's almost 680 pounds, almost 700 pounds.
You did incline bench with 700 pounds?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah.
Whoa.
My legs were 109 centimeters all around each leg.
Oh, are you talking about squats or incline bench?
Incline bench. Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Whoa.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, you definitely bodybuilded.
And incline squats in the machine. Yeah, yeah. Incline squats, I was doing with an average of 180 to 200 kilos, 10 to 12 reps.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's 440.
So how it comes to that? Well, it comes to that exactly, man, with the resilience. I started with 20 kilos, then I rise to 40. Then you have the good routine. You're starting to consume the right amount of energy, the right amount of minerals, the right amount of hydration. With the good training of cardio, because that's the most important in the end of the day. And everything else is about what you eat, and you burn it in one single workout. But you need to push yourself, saying, "I've done 15 reps with 40 kilos. Now let's reach 60. Now let's reach 100." And is it hard? Of course, it's
You still
hard.
weight training?
No, I'm not doing it right now.
No.
I have no time at all. It's impossible at current moment because of many situations and circumstances at the same time. And I wouldn't be able to do that routine with the current agenda I have. It's not really possible. But I will go back as soon as I coordinate things, and not at the same level because that was a bit insane, but to maintain basically the body and to be in peace because it's necessary. Because if you have a good shape and good stamina, your body and mind will feel in peace, and you are. I mean, there's a point that you don't even feel your body weight. You feel like you are a fly. You wait. I was waiting. In the end, I was weighing 128 kilos, and I was feeling that I was weighing 20 kilos
Yeah.
because you fully in shape. You are a
128,
machine. You,
2.2.
you
So
do cardio.
you weighed almost 300 pounds.
Yeah, yeah,
128
yeah, yeah,
times 2.2. So you're looking at 281 pounds, and you were incline bench pressing 700 pounds.
yeah.
Whoa.
I'll send you the pictures after because I still have them.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, levels.
yeah.
But ultimately, what are you
What the
optimizing
goal?
for? Yeah, what are you optimizing for? Because
So
that's really what it always comes down
my
to. Because people,
goal,
yeah.
my goal in the end was to compete physique class for Mr. Olympia, which I was classified, and I always had the ticket already to fly, and then I didn't go because a contract appeared, and I flew to another country to start a different project. So in the end, I didn't go.
You
So what
you
was that for?
qualified for Olympia?
Yeah.
Cool, man.
So in the end, what was that for? To know that I could do it. I could actually go there. Would I actually be on top 10? That I don't know. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if I will do it again. But I know I could do whatever I done, until that level, and it's possible in that short amount of time. It's very extreme. It's not easy because you need to take to insanity sometimes. It was insane, really. I mean, the workout, yeah, it was. I mean, it was
I
really
know,
insane.
brother. I know. I won a fitness show, not at the Olympia, but I know. I know what it took. It's not normal.
Yeah,
And I think at the end of the day, what do you want to dedicate yourself to? I think that's another good question. Is like, what are you optimizing for? What do you want to dedicate? Because it's not just about bodybuilding.
yeah,
It's about achieving something meaningful to you.
yeah,
This is just plastic, like, but it means something to me because it was a dream.
yeah,
And when you achieve your dreams, it's who you had to become to achieve them that you take with you. And that's why I have all these awards. People think it's pretentious. It's no, I believe in achievement.
yeah,
It's important. It's important to have goals and dreams and to work and better yourself. And it's interesting too. People would say, "Oh, you're in such great shape." Listen, I'm only in great shape as a byproduct of my goal. I'm not even close to my goal.
yeah,
And people, they make fun of Kevin and I because Kevin and I consider ourselves pretty out of shape. We're in worse shape than we used to be, put it that way. And people are like, what do you mean? You guys are in unbelievable like, what do you mean? Why are you guys, because Kevin and I will joke like, you're out of shape. It's like, well, listen, old me would eat me. But no one knows that because statistically speaking, we're in great shape. But I don't care. I'm not here to be statistically in shape. I'm here to be my best ever. And the only reason I'm in this shape is because I'm shooting for way better. And I wonder if that's a thing. I think that's a nugget for everybody is if you're shooting here and you're here, this is what people see on the way to the goal. Even when I was in the best shape of my life, I was going for something way better. And the now is a byproduct of the future you're shooting for. So right now people say, "Oh, you look so good. You work out every day." It's like, I appreciate it. Thank you. But I'm shooting for something way better than this,
yeah,
which is why I got this. And I really hope that lands. The now is a byproduct of the future you are shooting for. Current position is what everyone else is looking at.
yeah,
I don't give a shit about current position. I care about trajectory.
yeah,
So we had our first $100,000 month last month.
yeah,
And we got a lot of celebration. I'm very grateful. That's a big deal. But the only reason we got there is because we're shooting way higher than that.
yeah. Absolutely.
Right? So I think that
I mean, I
most
always
great
say,
things.
if you
Yeah,
have low goals, you're gonna have low results. If you have high goals, you maybe not achieve totally high on the same level, but you have higher results. And this
yeah,
is what I always say. I mean, you need to point high to try to achieve their main primary goal. And people
100%.
should have this in their mind all the
Well,
time.
when you aim high and then you come back in the present and then incrementally improve toward it. I
Yeah,
think what people get confused by is you say, well, I want to be on the Olympia stage or I want to be an Olympic athlete. And they say, well, I don't believe in myself. I can't do that. It's like, well, you can shoot for that and then work toward it today. You can't achieve it tomorrow. And I often try to explain this. I was with a client once and I said, how certain are you that you could get Subway for dinner tonight? Subway is a sandwich joint in
yeah,
the US. And I said 0 to 10, how certain are you? Because that's what belief is. Certainty. Certainty that you can achieve something. It's called self-belief, self-efficacy is what the psychology. And she said 10 out of 10. I was like, okay, you just did a calculation. You know where a Subway is. You know how you have a car. You know how to drive. You know they make sandwiches. You know they're open.
yeah,
You know your credit card will work. You know how to eat. You just did a calculation. I said, what if, okay, now, same question, except you have to eat Subway in the next 5 minutes. 0 to 10, how certain are you? And she's like, no way. I said, see, what if it's the exact same concept when I say I'm going to build $1 million business? I can't do it tomorrow,
yeah,
but I know how to do it. I just need more time. A lot of things are possible. We just don't know they're possible yet. This phone was possible We just didn't know it was possible 100 years ago because we didn't have the technology to create it yet.
Yeah.
But obviously someone believed in it, otherwise it wouldn't be here. Steve Jobs, Apple, the whole nine. So it's just one of those things where it's like, listen, the human brain has the ability to create things in its consciousness long before it creates it in reality. And all things are made twice. They're made in your mind first and then made into reality. And whether it's your physique, whether it's your health, whether it's your productivity, whether it's your business, and this is one of the things that I find very challenging. I joke with Kev, I say people come to me and they tell me their goals and dreams.
Yeah.
I'm a business coach. And then they go to the beach. And I look at them and I go, you just told me you wanted X and now you're doing Y. Y has nothing to do with X. I don't work every single day because I want to. I work every single day because that's what's required for my goals and dreams and for me to have a meaningful, fulfilling life. And I'm not saying you should do what I do, but I am saying if you had my goals, you would have to do what I'm doing. Yeah. And I think that that's one thing that's what I help people with. I help them with alignment. So if you're out there and you're sitting there going, okay, well, he was a bodybuilder, you were men's physique and health, you guys are just talking. What I would say is to bring it back to you, what's the level of health that you need for your goals and dreams? What if I'm in the exact amount of shape I needed to be in order to achieve my dreams? And what if what you think is in great shape is actually not even close to my full potential of what I'm actually shooting for? And the last piece I'll share here is my buddy Kevin, my business partner, I talk about him because we both have this fitness regimen, all this stuff. I said, isn't it ironic how you look great at the beach, Kev, but you don't have time to go to the beach?
Yeah.
The people who look great at the beach aren't at the beach. They're in the fucking gym. Right? Yeah. So I think that's the paradox. That's the metaphor. I could easily, we came off a $100,000 a month. I could easily take the whole week off, take the whole month off, take the whole year off. But isn't it ironic how the reason I was able to build a company that could have a $100,000 a month is because I didn't take time off. So it's a paradox. What everyone wants is on the other side of something they don't want. So if you can't get on the Stairmaster, if you can't get in the gym, you're never going to have a great physique. So there's a beneath the iceberg of everything. I think that I call it the want, love, hate framework. Very last thing I'll share. I want more clients. I love one-on-one coaching. I fucking hate social media. Guess what I have to do? Right? I want a great physique. I love weight training. I hate dieting. Guess what I have to do?
Exactly.
Everything you want is on the other side of something you can't fucking stand.
Yeah.
And until you face that inevitable fact, you're not going to get what you want. People come to me all the time, I want financial freedom. Everyone wants financial freedom. Guess what that is required? Guess what creates financial freedom? Work. Guess what work feels like? Not freedom. Right? I have 112 paying clients, 112. I might as well have 112 bosses, okay? The point is, financial freedom is created paradoxically by hard work that you don't want to do. And I just think it's so misguiding for people not to realize that everything you want is on the other side of something you don't want to do. And that's okay. That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But as you well mentioned, the goal is there. It doesn't really matter, what actually you're trying to show or what people actually think, what is it for. In the end, it's not for show off. It's because each of us has his own personal goals and his own personal achievements that want to reach to a certain area that most people really not really getting it or to understand. Because if you look at let's just say over 60% of people actually go to the gym, it's to go to the beach and show off, right? But the real bodybuilders are just there to train. They're not going to show off on a beach, or you're not going to see them in public places, because most of it is really, I mean, most of them are actually shy because they only just want to show themselves and their results if they are on a stage. That's what they train for. And this is, the main dynamics of the difference between a person that actually going in there, which going for show off, and a person that has his goal just to show the result of a whole year of workout in one day. That's parallel, right? And this is what people need to figure out. In what part are you? The one that you want to show off, or the one that actually you want goals and you're going to do something with your life and become a better version of yourself?
Yeah.
Is where they need to decide what is the right way for them to go. Because it's not about me to say them this is not good for you. No, you'll figure out for yourself. I'm telling you that's the right way of going into life. But then you need to figure out by yourself if it's correct or not. And again, you're gonna come back and say he was right because I know it is. In the end, people. So I always say that don't try to lose time thinking about and coming back. Just try to do the proper way and achieve things for yourself, not to show other people, but for your goals, for your personal goals, and for your personal achievement.
Well, I
That's
think there's
how you
two.
get.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Yeah,
interrupt you. There's two worlds we all have to live in, I think.
yeah,
There's the real world, which is who you are and what you are when no one's watching. And at NLU, we have a saying, we will never hire someone unless they can sit alone in a dark room on a Stairmaster for at least 30 minutes by themselves and not post it on Instagram.
yeah.
Meaning if you can't do hard work that you'll never be rewarded for publicly, you can't be on our team. Now, the real world is who you are and what you are when no one's watching. The social world is social media, it's this live podcast, it's the economy, it's he said, she said, whatever. And you have to live in those two different worlds. And we all have to live in both, but what's the syntax? Are you doing it first for you in the real world? And then you also get to motivate and inspire people on social media? Or are you doing it just for social media and then you also get to enjoy it in the real world? I think syntax matters. The best way to describe social world and real world, I think, is the social world is the wedding photos. The real world is the actual marriage. And if you don't focus more on the marriage than you do the wedding photos, you're in some serious trouble. And that's a metaphor. I'm not married yet, but it's a metaphor for life. Are you in the gym to push yourself and reach your potential first, and then to maybe have a chance to show it off one day second? Or is it to show it off first? And that's the paradox too. You end up, it's so interesting now that Kevin is financially free because he struggled. He was born both very humble beginnings, started from nothing, no fathers, no trust fund, no zero generational wealth. We built this from the ground up. And now that he's the type of man that has a lot of money, he is more scarce. He literally messaged me the other day saying, "Hey man, I just saved us $20 with Buzzsprout for blah blah blah." It's like I don't need that now. I needed that 8 years ago when we were broke, man. Yeah. But that's the paradox is by the time you become
me, I'll just share here the overlay. So
nice.
This is me 7 years ago.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Getting after it, man. Getting after it. Do you have one of you at the competition level?
So I was trying to find it, but I mean, we are on recording at the same time.
Yeah, all good. 7 years ago, what was your age in that?
So I was 45 to 46, yeah.
Nice job, man.
Yeah.
Very. Respect.
So as you can see, there's two paradoxes in there. One of them is the age, of course. I mean, of course, my stamina is not the same when I was 20, but was it possible? Yes. Mindset. You put your mindset, you put the extra effort, and you get there. Of course, it comes to a time that the body will not respond, the same way if you get like 50 or 60, which is natural. But it's possible to achieve certain things, and it's possible to get to them. Like I said, the way I did it was a bit insane. It was very fast. I was eating 9 times a day, every day, non-stop. No routines, no breaks. I was not going out anywhere. My routine was going work, eat. I was taking Tupperwares to work, to eat every 3 hours, exactly the same routine, same food, same diet, and my exact schedule, whole 24 hours. So it can be done in many different ways. I just did it as a personal goal to see, can I do this at my 46? Because that's when I got there with this final result. I was 46 already in that picture. Can I do that in 46? I said, yeah, it's possible. And then I took that picture. Well, I asked someone to take it. And I always kept that picture with me saying, anything is possible. When people ask me, is it? I said, yes. This is just one of the goals I did. And that is not really like very, very important. Just a personal goal I did that I wanted to do for a long time. And I had that break during that specific time. I said, no, I'm going to take the advantage of having this break and do something good with it. And that's what
Nice.
I did. I utilized 18 months to build all that. But of course, I mean, you can do it in many other ways. You can do it, in more time, less heavy weight. But the thing is, I was building huge mass and doing swing transformation all in the same workout, which is very, very hard. How you achieve that? You do very high weight with a lot of repetition, so you do both trainings at once. How many calories average I was consuming? Well, I can tell you in some workouts I was consuming over 2,500 to 3,000 calories in just one workout. So it's possible, yeah, but it's all on the mentality. If you are resilient and you want to put yourself that I want to achieve, I don't know, I want to go to Mars in 10 years. It's not impossible. It's just a matter to, you really need to put the effort in there, which is just a mere example, right? So don't take it like literally. It's just a matter that you need to focus on one goal. To say, so I want to be a business person. I want to have this amount of portfolio within the next 5 years, and you just need to start in and work it out. It's not going to
Yeah.
be easy, but you can do it. I mean, many doors will close and many doors will open. You just need to be resilient, consistent with yourself, know exactly what you're doing, use your common sense, and have the proper circle around you. Because if you have a lot of noise around you, that's not going to help. And
Yeah.
this goes exactly the same way. It doesn't matter if you're doing bodybuilding, if you're doing work, consulting, designing, entertainment, it's all the same. The right circle around you is very, very important because if you don't have it, you will have 50% drainage of all the amount of work you're doing and you'll get nowhere.
The principles remain the same regardless of the goal. The
Yeah.
principles remain the same. Julio, this has been a pleasure. So we did personal development, we did fitness, and next is business for the hat
Yeah.
trick next week.
Yeah.
I do gotta go because I gotta be on another meeting in 3 minutes, and I definitely need a
No
bathroom break, my
problem.
friend. Also, I
So,
need to grab a protein bar after all this fitness talk.
so Alan, what will be your power message of today?
Power message: believe in yourself, set a goal, and then take incremental steps each day to try to achieve it, and make sure that you actually do achieve it, because your subconscious and unconscious mind needs proof that you kept the promise you made to yourself. When you set a goal to go to the gym tomorrow, you got to keep the promise you make to yourself. I always say, if you had a friend who broke as many promises to you as you've broken to yourself, how much would you value that friendship? It hurts your self-respect and your self-worth every time you break the promise. So start small and build those little promises, and then eventually set a big goal, and then keep optimizing your life and your circle. I think that I'm living my dream life, and I'm very grateful, but my dream life is a byproduct of the goals that I've set, the dreams that I had. And I think that a lot of people would love to be financially free, have a $100,000 a month, be in shape, have an 18-person team, all that stuff. That's all great. I appreciate it. Trust me, there's a time when I wanted that all too. But the only reason I got there is because I'm shooting way higher and I'm optimizing for something way bigger. And so when it's bigger than you you have more pull, you have more push, you have more motivation. And the only wrong answer is to not have goals and dreams. So whatever your goals and dreams are, they're in here and they're in here. Let them out, say them to the world, and hold yourself accountable. And if you need some help, reach out.
Absolutely. So with all that, it was amazing, Alan, to have you again here today. I hope everyone will enjoy this. Catch you all later. Thank you, Alan. Catch you on Path 3 very soon. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Hat trick next time.